Hello, welcome to Easy English at Home YouTube channel. Today, I'm gonna teach you how to use past perfect simple tense. Today's focus is past perfect simple tense, and we have our friend Alex to help us. Well, Alex and Joe go to the same gym, so they often see each other there. Alex went there at 6 p.m. yesterday and he left at 7:30. Joe, on the other hand, went there at 8 o'clock, so they didn't see each other. When Joe arrived, Alex had already left. Yes, Alex had already left. So, Joe arrived. It's a sentence in the past tense, right? Joe arrived. Alex had already left. This is also in the past, but there is a difference between these two. Alex had already left is an action that happened further in the past. It happened before this one. So we use past perfect simple tense to state actions that happened further in the past, right? Had already left. Well, let me give you one more example. Here, let's think of what Alex did before he came to the gym, right? He did two things. Well, he locked the door, he left home. But which one did he do first? There should be a chronological order, right? Yeah, he locked the door first and then he left home. Well, which one is further in the past? He locked the door, so this happened further in the past. Let's put these two sentences together. Before Alex left home, he had locked the door. He had locked the door. So this action happened before the other one. That's why we use past perfect simple here. Another example, when Alex got to the gym, Joe hadn't arrived yet. Yes, Joe hadn't arrived yet. So this is a good example for the negative form, right? When you want to study the structure in more detail, well, you can look at this form. Subject is followed by the auxiliary had, it's always had, then the past participle form of the verb, then the object is the next thing. Very easy. Subject, had, past participle form of the verb and object. If you want to negate it, you simply say hadn't. Nothing else changes. If you want to form a question, start the question with the auxiliary. Start with had. Had she left school or the gym? Very easy example. Well, one more thing to keep in mind is that you can use words like just, already, and yet with past perfect simple. Remember, we first introduced these three words in present perfect tense, but you can also use them with past perfect simple, as in these examples. Look, Joe hadn't arrived yet. We use yet in negative structures and questions. Don't forget, just with positive and already in positive forms. Are you ready to practice? Well, read the past situations that I prepared for you and form sentences in past perfect simple tense using the prompts given in brackets. Let's start. Number 1. I offered Alex some food, but he didn't eat. Why? Because he had just had breakfast. He had just eaten. You can as well say eaten. Both options are okay. Number 2. Alex went to see Joe at his house. Joe wasn't there. What had happened? Joe had already left. Exactly. When Alex got there, Joe had already left. That's why he couldn't see him. Number 3. I flew to Istanbul with Alex. He was very nervous because he hadn't flown before. It was his first time. That's why. Number 4. We were very happy to see each other. It had been a very long time, right? It had been a long time since we last met. That's why we were very happy. And number 5, I met Alex in front of the cinema. He was a bit late, but the movie hadn't started yet. Very good. Now, I want you to realize that in each case, we used the auxiliary had, we used either just, already, yet, and always the past participle form of the verb. Are you ready to practice further? Let's imagine a case of robbery. So we have a robber or robbers, we have a bank and the police, of course. So what happened? What happened is this. Robbers broke into the bank at 3 a.m. in the morning and the alarm went off, of course. The robbers left quickly and the police arrived at 20 past 3. So, using this case, we are going to practice how to use conjunctions like after, before, when, and by the time with past perfect simple tense. Let's study. Let's form sentences using them through this case. Number 1, look, the police arrived, the robbers, what happened? Before the police arrived, the robbers had already left. Yes. Let's try another one using a different conjunction this time. Look at the sentence. It's the same sentence, but the order changes. Look, the police arrived when? After the robbers had left. Yes? And number 3, look at this one. Well, the police arrived, the robbers. So, when the police arrived, or you can as well say by the time. The meaning doesn't change. By the time the police arrived, the robbers had already left. So one thing that I want you to notice here is this. With the conjunctions we have, with before, when, and by the time, we use past simple tense. Look, before the police arrived. Or we say when the police arrived. By the time the police arrived. So after these 3, we have past simple tense. With after, on the other hand, the situation is slightly different. We use what? Look, had left. Past perfect simple after. The conjunction after, okay? Past perfect simple. So with this, we actually state an action that happened further in the past. Let's have a look at today's keywords and phrases. We learned that we can use past perfect simple to talk about past actions that happened earlier than the others. It also helps us show the order of events in the past. And Before, after, when, and by the time are common conjunctions of time used with past perfect simple. Here we have some examples. I had locked the door before I left home. We also learned that we can use past perfect simple with just, already, and yet. For example, I had just finished my homework when you called. I had already finished my homework when you called. I hadn't finished my homework yet when you called. Thank you for watching. You can find the practice files for this lesson on the link in description. And don't forget to subscribe to my channel. Bye!